Alrighty, good morning. It is Saturday morning, about 9 a.m. I am on 94 westbound in the early stretches of eastern Montana, heading to Salmon, Idaho for some early season cold snap, weather window, work gap, steelhead fishing. This is gonna be my first time attempting ocean run steelhead on a river that I've never been to, with techniques that I'm not used to, and a gap of about 3 days that I get to work with and see what I can do in that amount of time. So here we are. I was going to go east to a Great Lakes tributary stream possibly, but I called a couple fly shops and it didn't really seem feasible. It seems like the ice is still pretty thick, and here I am checking river cams on Salmon River, and in the last 12 days it has substantially cleared up. So here we are. Trying to keep this one short. I got about 6 hours left. I will make another video when I get there. One night after a tough day of fishing, sitting in a bar in Wisconsin surrounded by fellow fishermen, a drunk yet wise old man told me to stop trying so damn hard and let the experience be the joy. Sometimes when the fishing is tough out of the gate on a fishing trip, at least for me, I become frustrated enough to give up and lose sight of the entire journey at hand, forgetting how lucky I actually am to have the free time spent in such a beautiful place. However, if I can catch myself in time, I can usually find ultimate clarity, and giving myself up to the environment wholly is where synergy unfurls itself to show you the true meaning of this experience. No amount of research on the phone or dissection of a map is going to beat the information that this environment is giving you in real time, and this is where you need to pay attention, because this is how you will catch fish. Sometimes it's best to get out of your own way and let nature use you as a vessel. Without a doubt, this is a breakthrough in the mindset required to fish for steelhead. And I hope this video can be used as an example of constant perseverance no matter the circumstance, and the recognition of one's surroundings regardless of their actual fishing success. So here I am, coming down the road to get to my river, and I come upon this place called Lost Trail Ski Area at the top of a mountain pass. Keep in mind it is March 1st today, and my decision to leave the ski gear at home couldn't be hitting harder than it is right now. This looks so fun. Look at that. I'm going fishing, and my skis are in my garage. Stupid. What the fuck, dude? Oh my gosh. All right, we made it. We're here. Check this out. There it is. The mighty Salmon River. There are fish in here from the Pacific Ocean, and we're in Idaho. And I couldn't be more excited right now. All right, so here's just a quick road map. Here you can see the journey that these fish do take from the ocean and back. So starting from left to right, we've got the Columbia River highlighted in the orange, and then we go over to the Snake River highlighted in the blue, and then from there they head into the Salmon River tributary system, and in the green marker specifically, that is where I was targeting these fish. So not only can you see they make a multi-state journey inland, but they also make several correct river fork decisions just to get back to where they were born. Just scouting out a few spots. Probably gonna just post up here. Local park area for the evening. Wait till the fly shop opens up tomorrow, go talk around, see what's up. Get a spot in the morning. And yeah, here we go. We made it, let's go. Alrighty, we're back here. Just got dinner made up, getting ready to go. That's creamy chicken ramen and eggs for the whole trip. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, yeah, got in about 4:30. I'm having a riverside dinner right now. Fished a couple stretches, probably fished a quarter mile right here in town. There's the bridge. This probably gets fished pretty heavily, so I just kind of hopped in and checked out the river. It's beautiful down in there, you know. It's so fresh, so clean. You can just tell how healthy it is just by even the smell of it. Started to kind of go to my Lake Superior tactics. I kind of reverted. I nymphed with egg yarn for a while and got one small rainbow and a tail out pool, so exactly like what I know. But yeah, I guess towards the end of the night I started to do this tactic, which is the salmon is known for, which is called swinging. I basically just throw a streamer 3/4 of the way down the river. I've done a video on it on the Brule before, but this is kind of like the proving ground, the holy ground, the place where it actually should be properly applied. So it's taken every bone in my body not to just bust out the stonefly and the egg, especially because these are steelhead. But I think I'm going to start a strong section of the day tomorrow off with streamer, or I guess swinging flies. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, if I get frustrated, I'll probably just start throwing the pink worm or something. So that seems to be my favorite thing. But yeah, here we go. Dinner served. All right, good morning. First big try today. It's going down. We are up here at 8 Mile River access, about 4 to 5 miles upriver from town. I took a pretty chillax morning. It's about 9:30 right now. Went and got some coffee at a local shop, as always. Shout out Salmon River Coffee Shop. And yeah, I sat in a gas station and talked to the clerk for probably 15 minutes, just trying to figure out what's going on here. Guy said he saw somebody pull a 36-inch steelhead out of the river, which sounds fake, but that's ocean run fish for you. But yeah, no, I got a little worked up last night, wondering if I made the wrong decision, but it sounds like if you know, you know, and if you know, you go. And people are going, so I think they're in. They're in, but it's just a matter of getting a wintering steelhead to bite. Anyways, now I'm right here in front of a pretty big bend, a good walkable section. I'm gonna spend my morning here. I'll probably pack up at noon, maybe make some lunch, and swing on downriver unless I have success. So tons of stuff to talk about. There's a hatchery upriver that I want to check out. There's, you know, a couple techniques I want to go over. I think I am not going to swing. Looks like everybody is floating bobbers right now. So I'm gonna run a float rig, or maybe just tight line an egg down on the bottom. But yeah, maybe streamers are a no-go, because fuck that, I hate them. I'll be throwing one later. All right, guys, first fish of the trip here. I believe this is a whitefish. So yeah, fishing this little calmer pool here. This guy came up All right, so at this point, I did decide to move downriver. I stayed at that area until about 2 p.m. and I got down here at about 3 o'clock and fished for the evening.
I guess this is for all the non-believers, including myself. But look at this. Look at how big that fish is. Holy cow. We're just downstream from a launch, so I'm sure that fish got cleaned in the last 2 days there. That's crazy though. That's a big, big fish.
All right, that's a wrap on my official first full day out here. No fish all morning. I was swinging streamers for probably 3 hours. Worked back down a section. Started to use the old bottom bouncer pink worm, just like I know. Hooked into that whitefish that's in the video. Went further downstream. Got caught up in an area, and I actually ran into the DNR. I talked to them for a little bit about, what they were seeing. It sounds like they saw a couple people catch fish today. And it sounds like I'm one of the only people out here with a fly rod. So I switched over to my spinning setup about 2 hours ago. Posted up on a pretty local hole. I actually watched a guy land a fish about 200 yards above me, and yeah, it sounds like there's fish in. They're super dark and they're very lethargic, but they're here. So I don't know, I'm gonna probably bite the bullet and just start using live bait and see if I can just punch my ticket. And I'm kind of the mindset of like one steelhead is enough. So if I do get one, I'll probably leave depending on when that is. I'm probably a week and a half early, it seems like. I'm not too sure, but there's fish in. There's this thing downstream called the deadwater ice jam that people kind of use as a regulator to gauge when the steelheading on the upper salmon really starts. And it sounds like it's still about a week or two away from freeing up. I think the rush of water downstream indicates for fish to swim up all the way into the actual spawning ground, which is where this section is. So yeah, getting to the middle salmon or the lower salmon is a 4+ hour ordeal, so here's where I'm at. But yeah, I'm feeling good. It's so hard to complain, obviously. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll climb a mountain or something. I don't know. Alrighty, so here's a picture of that aforementioned deadwater ice jam. This is kind of a midwinter look at it. Little to my knowledge, at the time I recorded that, this jam actually broke free the next morning, and I only recently found that out. So it really was just a perfect weather window, and everything really just aligned pretty perfectly.
Another successful sleep in the car. Make up some coffee this morning. Here's where we slept. Not too bad. So I talked to a guy yesterday at the brewery, and he said there couldn't be a better time to be up here right now for steelhead. Sounds like the deadwater ice jam is probably a quarter mile to a half mile away from being completely open. Saw pictures of fish being caught yesterday. It looked like a 35, 40-inch fish yesterday. This guy showed me on his phone. I know for a fact, upon further thinking, that I did see some fish rolling over through these flatter areas. So they're in fast water, they're in slow water, and they're about to push hard. And it could be today. Looking west right now, it looks like there's some clouds that are kind of cresting right over the top of the valley that I'm in. So ideally, we would want some clouds and maybe even a little bit of snow today. That would be super good. Yeah, here we are. Making coffee out of the back of my car.
mid-morning update. It's about 10:20. I got myself pretty far up the river from salmon, in between 11-mile boat ramp and Chalice, which is like another 30 minutes away. Here's what I'm fishing today. So we got a nice rapid there with slow water behind it. And I bought some shrimp this morning at the bait store, so I'm gonna fish until the shrimp are gone and see how that goes. This is the spot in question. There's a nice slow seam right there. There's rapid section above, riffles below. So this would be a place where a fish is moving a lot through a lot of fast water, and maybe they'd come in to this area and take a break before they push back up through this nasty stuff. So in a textbook situation, this would be a place where a steelhead is sitting. So we're gonna see. Despite the lack of catching fish, this is probably just gonna be a Salmon River informational tour at this point. So apparently a guy moved here in 1947 and built this on the side of the hill. And I cannot believe it, but the door is open. Holy shit. Here we go. Hello? Hello? No way. Smells like weed. And piss. There's definitely animals that live in here. Holy fuck. Sink there somehow. Extremely antique. God, I think something's living in here currently. I guess this is all you really need, huh? Not too bad. Not too bad, Dick. Cool. Very, very cool. Very Wild West. Holy shit. A beautiful willow right in the front door. Wow. Amazing. Looks like there's a few more down the way. It says there's a couple of these, but it's pretty sweet, huh? Hooked up here in a nice little back pool. I'm gonna start actually trying to catch this fish now. All right, guys, here we go. Look at that beautiful fish. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous fish. She's pretty chrome. It's a hen. You can see the budded nose. Wild fish as well. Adipose fin connected. I'm not too sure about how to tell if it's been in the ocean yet, but this could be an A-run fish, which means it's only been in for a year, but yeah, she's ready to go, so.
Edit, that was a native rainbow trout. That fish never went to the ocean. I just wanted to sound like I knew what I was talking about, so.
All right. Alrighty, calling it a wrap on day 2 here. Calling it a little bit early. You can see it's still sunlight because I am headed to a hot springs. It's a 2-mile hike to get to the hot springs, so this will be a nighttime event. but I'm super excited about it. I stopped into the fly shop at about 3 o'clock today. Tried to talk to the guy as much as I could. Shout out Salmon River Fly Box in Salmon, Idaho. The guy was super nice, super informative. Sounds like they are very spay crazy. Swing flies. I learned a lot from him. I'm at a pretty decent section of river. Kind of built for swinging. I did swing my way through this bottom section here. And then I whipped out the old rubber worm to fish a pool that I've been eyeing up from the highway since this morning. So, yeah. It always feels like these trips when you go to a new place, the last day is the day where you think you're gonna figure it out because you have the most information to use from what you've experienced, and you also don't want to leave empty-handed. So things get pretty serious on the last day. So we're gonna take it easy tonight and wake up and get after it pretty early tomorrow. But yeah, I'll send another video up at the hot springs.
This hike was fucked up, but it was worth it.
All right, last morning out here. Feeling pretty good. Swinging a nice blackish chartreuse fly down this nice, calm, 4 to 6 foot bouldery section of river. I'm gonna work my way past the bridge down to the bend and make a game time decision from there. I might call it and just say, send off my best wishes and call it a day, or if I get plunked here in this section, I might stick around and maybe run it again from the other side. But yeah, we're swinging all day today. Swinging flies. Well, I wouldn't believe me if I didn't get this on video. But I've done it. This is a beautiful, beautiful, wintered over stocked fish, and he's clipped, which means I can technically keep this fish. Look at this fish. Look at that fish, man. Look at this beautiful fish. Okay. Unbelievable fish. This is what you come here for. This is a Salmon River stocked steelhead coming back in for the spring on an egg that I tied myself in my kitchen. Unbelievable. This is a buzzer beater, folks. Look at this gorgeous fish. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at how red. Yeah, that just happened. You can't believe it when it happens. But that is a 28-hour round trip for a fish that traveled 800 miles to get to this exact spot. Right here. In that little pool right there. You can't fucking believe it. You cannot believe it. It makes it all worth it. You come out here, I'm spending my nights in my car just trying to get to sleep, going, what the fuck am I doing out here right now? Am I too early? I don't have the right gear. Is this too big of a bite? I don't know, man. It just dawned on me last night that this is only one of the only places on the Salmon River that's really accessible to fly fishing. Everything pretty much downstream of North Fork becomes wide enough to where people start doing trolling techniques. It's called back trolling. You come up into this valley, this gorgeous valley, and the river narrows up and it becomes available to use the type of tackle like a fly rod would require. And even still, you want to use a space setup, which is a 13-foot rod. I've got my 7-weight Great Lakes fucking basically bass rod out here. That's a fly rod setup. And I'm just doing the same exact thing I would on Superior. I'm going to find a nice strong run, and I'm going to look for a little pool right next to it, whereas it's a place for a fish to take a break. I've been talking about it all weekend. I've been fishing slow and fast water, but I'm in the middle. I mean, this is a huge riffle. And then right there's a spot to rest. I mean, that's where you got to check out. That's where you got to target. Boy, I fished a bunch of them this weekend, So, there's something to the tune of maybe 29,000 fish in this 900-mile river that are steelhead that are coming from the ocean. And I'll take that as a victory to get one. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. That was probably my 9th, maybe my 8th steelhead I've ever landed. Biggest steelhead, most beautiful steelhead, and I'll never forget this. You take it in. You remember this place. These are the places that you'll think about for the rest of your life. And I implore you to go out and do these things whenever you can. Alrighty, well, that's the video. That's almost a half an hour's worth of my Idaho fishing trip. This is my 3rd attempt at a fishing-related trip vlog. Thanks, family, for watching this. Please text me back once you get this. Any feedback? Should I talk less? Should I talk more? Should I show more fishing? Should I show more scenery? Should I show more information? I can go over the stuff I'm using more. Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to just hear some notes back. So thanks again for watching.